How to name your business. It's really important. There's a lot of competitors out there, and with the internet, the whole world could be your competitor. So I'm going to go through 5 things that you need to go through to make sure you found the right name for your company. First, you're going to need an entity name. We'll go through that. Second, you're going to want to protect that. A trademark might be where you do it. Third, you need what's called a DBA, doing business as. Fourth, you need a domain name. And then fifth, why the heck would you actually name your company? Why you're going to name it? So let's start out at the beginning, coming up with a name. It's important you start out right in Google. Start doing some searches on the terms you think your name should be. As you do that, you're going to want to note a few things. How many people might be using that similar name? Are there variations of that name that could be out there and you might be able to squeeze in, say if you're a plumber versus an accountant? And third, think about it looking forward. Does it use some words, keywords, that could be useful in communicating your brand value in a future marketing campaign? A bonus strategy, and one of my favorite tools to always use in any marketing communication program, is Google Trends. Google Trends has a great timeline function where you can put in competitive keywords, like keywords, maybe just figure out why the variations might be typed in more than others. This is really pointing a little bit more towards a communication marketing campaign, but at the very beginning of your business, if you're looking for a name, this is a great research tool. The second thing, a trademark. What does a trademark do? Well, trademark is a mark, a brand, a logo that is protecting you in trade. It's exactly what it sounds like. You need to go to the United States Trademark Office. Just go in and search trademark search, and the very top search should be the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. You're going to want to do some trademark searches on the words you've used to come up with your entity name. See if it's competitive, see if there's other businesses in there. It isn't that you can't get a trademark in non-competitive marketplaces. You might be able to. So if your name is Johnson, and there's a lot of Johnson & Johnsons, or Johnson & Sons, or Johnson and Fred, all sorts of names with the word Johnson, there may be an angle in there where you can protect your brand. If you're really concerned about this, you're going to want to go to a lawyer, a trademark lawyer, and they're going to do some more work for you. But in the beginning sense, you want to just see if it's open. If it's open, that gives you a good green light to go ahead and buy your domain, buy your name, and get that file. So the third thing is going to be your DBA. Doing business as is what that means. Other times it's called a fictitious business name or a fictitious business license. Now this will not protect you from a legal dispute over the brand of your name, but it is required in most places to do business, and it is tied closer to taxation and legal laws that go into wherever you might be about should you or can you be doing business under that name. Those are mostly filed at your local level. So you want to go to your county website and search business information. In there is going to be business licensing and how to file for your DBA. There'll be some other requirements, like a lot of times you have to publish your name in a newspaper. And that tells the world, hey, we are now doing business as A, B, and C. And therefore, if anybody is like, wait a second, I'm doing business as A, B, and C, they can stop that from happening, and there can be a dispute early on in it. Finally, you're going to want to buy your domain name. There's a lot of domain name hosts and registrars out there in the world. Simply go to one of them and hit search and see if that domain name is available. I'm searching my Fractonic. Fractonic isn't available because guess what? I own it. But it will show you right here what it is, some pricing, and maybe some other suggestions that you have that would be close to it. And you might want to find a domain that's tied to the type of business you're doing. Therefore, it's a little bit easier to communicate your brand value to the customers you're looking for. The value of a name becomes a lot. And so I'm going to show you some quick clips from a recent discussion I had with some of my MicroGiants colleagues. These are consultants that have been doing business for more years than I could count. And there's some real logic into how you could build some names. And then there's some common sense. So here's a few clips to see what might help you.
And I think I'd like to have John Mills kick it off because he had a great question about what's in a name.
Yeah, so actually I think this is Ron's bailiwick. It really is. From history, he has strength in this area, but I think it's a really fundamental question that is, who do you say I am? I mean, it is like, who do I say I am? Who's the world going to say I am? That is so not easy to do these days.
How do you come up to a name? And that's a complex subject just in itself. But the first thing that you do is determining the marketplace. Who are your customers? What are you going to sell? If you don't understand what you're going to do, what your product is, and who your market is, you're not going to be able to do a very good job on picking a name.
So I think they make some good points there. You can watch the whole video on what you do in your first 90 days of business. I'll link it in the description. But when picking a name, there are some other things that come into factor. The most important is, what is your market? Who are you going to sell to? and who are those future customers going to consider you. But I think the real thing is take some time to figure out where you would be in the marketplace, because everybody's going to see a different market. And it is important to think from the customer's point of view at the start. Not only do you have competitors that could be using words that are the same, but you have a customer who at the end of the day is the one that's going to hold the brand value. And so do take some time and consider some different variations of your name and go out into the marketplace a little bit before you put your final stamp on what you're going to do. The next video you'll see, planning. There's a lot that goes into it. Too long for this video. See you later.